If you are a Capricorn rising, I know you have spent years trying to conquer the world. But in 2026, the mission changes. It's time to make sure you actually have a place to rest. This is a foundation year. Let's talk about why. This is the 2026 full year forecast for Capricorn Rising. In Astrofusion Lab, we read from the rising sign perspective because it shows how astrology lands in real life, through relationships, work, money decisions, and the internal response to all of it. And make sure you stick around until the end. I'm going to share a specific timing technique that will tell you exactly which part of this forecast matters most for your specific age. This is a collective forecast. Also, exact times can vary a bit by location and time zone, so use the dates as anchors. For Capricorn Rising, 2026 is a foundation year, a year where the ground you stand on gets rebuilt. And I mean that literally and metaphorically. This is a year where your home, your family dynamics, your living situation, and your sense of private security become the main project. Because for Capricorn, ambition is natural. But rest, safety, belonging, those things often get sacrificed. In 2026, the astrology suggests that you can't build any higher until the foundation is fixed. As a Capricorn rising, your chart ruler is Saturn, so Saturn sets the tone for how you move through 2026, your sense of responsibility, your timing, your boundaries, and the way you build your life. The headline for your ruler this year is a massive sign change. Saturn has been in Pisces for the last few years, which can feel muddy, emotional, or dissolving. But in early 2026, Saturn moves into Aries. For you, this changes the texture of the year from waiting and feeling to initiating and defining. It brings a sharper, faster energy. But because Saturn is in fall in Aries, it also brings a specific challenge. You will want to fix things instantly, but the solution requires patience. If you use Saturn well this year, the theme is simple. Don't just build fast, build it to last. The headline transit for Capricorn Rising in 2026 is Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries and activating your fourth house, home, family, roots, ancestry, real estate, and your private emotional life. Here are the key timing anchors. Neptune enters Aries on January 26th at the very first degree. Saturn enters Aries on February 13th, and then they meet. Saturn conjunct Neptune on February 20th. For Capricorn Rising, the fourth house is the bottom of the chart. It's the anchor. When Saturn goes here, it often brings heavy responsibilities at home. This can look like caring for a parent, dealing with a major property issue, becoming a parent, or doing deep psychological work on your childhood. Neptune here can dissolve the old structure of home, maybe a move, a leak, or a feeling that you don't quite know where you belong anymore. Saturn enters to build a new container. It asks you to define what family means to you and to build a home that is actually secure, not just one that looks good on paper. This is a powerful time for settling, but it often comes with a workload. You are re-engineering your private life. If you've been asking, "Where do I belong?" or "How do I fix my family dynamic?" late January through February initiates that work. It's not an overnight fix, it's a construction project. Now here's the second major shift of 2026 for Capricorn Rising, and it's about your schedule. On April 25th, Uranus leaves Taurus and enters Gemini. For Capricorn Rising, that activates your sixth house: work habits, health routines, employees, pets, and the daily grind. Uranus in the sixth is the disruptor of routine. It makes it very hard to stay in a stagnant job or a boring schedule. You may find yourself needing a completely different workflow, or working irregular hours, or using new technology to manage your life. It also affects the body. Uranus here can bring sudden nervous system energy. If you try to repress it with a rigid 9 to 5 grind, it often comes out as anxiety or sudden health flare-ups. The body wants freedom and innovation, not just discipline. A specific warning for your physical health. Watch the week of July 4th. Mars meets Uranus in your 6th house. This is volatile energy in the sector of daily work and the body. It can manifest as a sudden conflict at the office or an injury from rushing. Slow down. Your nervous system is not built to run at that speed. The goal with Uranus in the 6th is to invent a way of working that keeps you interested, rather than just keeping you busy. Now let's talk eclipses, because this is where the year tends to course correct you. First, the Aquarius and Leo eclipses. The solar eclipse in Aquarius happens on February 17th at 29 degrees, and the solar eclipse in Leo happens on August 12th at 20 degrees. For Capricorn Rising, Aquarius is your 2nd house: income, money, assets, and self-worth. Leo is your 8th house: debt, taxes, investments, and shared resources. So this axis is the financial axis. It brings turning points in how you earn money and how you manage wealth. It can bring shifts in salary, investment decisions, or the way you share resources with a partner. It asks, are you building wealth that gives you freedom, or just building more obligation? Second, the Virgo and Pisces eclipses. The lunar eclipse in Virgo happens on March 3rd at 13 degrees, and the lunar eclipse in Pisces happens on August 28th at 5 degrees. For Capricorn Rising, Virgo is your 9th house: beliefs, travel, education, and the bigger picture. Pisces is your 3rd house: communication, siblings, daily travel, and skills. So, the 2nd axis is about learning and perspective. It can bring a desire to go back to school, to teach, to write, or to travel. It's asking you to update your skills, 3rd house, so you can reach a bigger vision, 9th house. On August 18th, 2026, the lunar nodes change signs. The North Node leaves Pisces and enters Aquarius, and the South Node leaves Virgo and enters Leo. For Capricorn Rising, that lands across your 2nd and 8th houses, so it reinforces the money storyline for the rest of the year. With the North Node moving through Aquarius, growth pulls you toward financial independence, diversifying your income, and understanding your own value. It asks you to rely on your own resources. And with the South Node in Leo in your 8th house, there's a release happening around financial dependency, letting go of debt, or entangled financial situations where you have to perform for someone else to feel safe. If you've been asking, how do I become financially free? After mid-August, the answer is, focus on your own income streams and disentangle from the drama of shared money. Pluto continues moving through Aquarius, and for Capricorn Rising, that's your 2nd house: money, possessions, and values. This is a long transit, so it's not a one-year story. But in 2026, you can feel what it's doing. It's transforming your relationship to resources. Pluto in the 2nd often brings an intense drive to build wealth, but it also exposes where you attach your self-worth to your bank account. It can bring total financial regeneration, rebuilding from scratch, or discovering a new way to generate value that feels more powerful. The point isn't just to have money. The point is to have power over your own survival. Pluto here wants you to be resourceful, not just rich. Jupiter is a supporting co-star in 2026, and it helps answer questions about connection and support. A key timing anchor is June 30th, when Jupiter enters Leo. For the first half of the year, Jupiter is moving through Cancer, which is your 7th house: relationships, partnerships, and marriage. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, so this is one of the best transits you can get for partnership. It brings benevolence, growth, and support from other people. It's a great time to meet someone, to get married, or to smooth out conflicts in a current bond. Then, on June 30th, Jupiter enters Leo and moves into your 8th house: shared resources, investments, and deep intimacy. This supports financial growth through others, inheritance, grants, partners' income, or successful investments. However, watch for mid-July. Around July 20th, Jupiter in your debt sector opposes Pluto in your income sector. This is a financial standoff. It forces a resolution between my money and our money. Ensure your financial agreements are airtight before this date. So, the pattern is simple. First, you grow through partnership, 7th house, and then you grow through the resources that partnership brings, 8th house. Late in the year, Venus goes retrograde. And for Capricorn Rising, this puts the spotlight on your public life and your social circle. Venus stations retrograde on October 3rd at 8 degrees Scorpio, and then Venus stations direct on November 13th at 23 degrees Libra. For Capricorn Rising, this retrograde storyline moves across your 11th and 10th houses. Scorpio is your 11th house, friends, networks, and long-term goals. Libra is your 10th house, career, reputation, and authority. A dignity note that matters. Venus in Scorpio is traditionally in detriment, so the first part of the retrograde can feel complicated socially. You might review your friendships, leave a group that no longer fits, or deal with some power dynamics in your network. Then, when Venus backs into Libra, where Venus is in domicile, it enters your 10th house. This is a career review. It asks, do I like the reputation I've built? Am I enjoying my success or just enduring it? When Venus turns direct in Libra, it often brings a moment of public grace, a relaunch, a smoothing over of professional relationships, or a clearer sense of the direction you want to go. So, for Capricorn Rising, this is a reset of your place in the world. It cleans up your network so you can clarify your career. Before we close, I want to add one timing technique from traditional astrology that makes the year feel much more personal. Annual profections. Each year of life activates a house. That house becomes the main topic of the year, and its ruler becomes your Time Lord, the planet that helps tell the story of how the year unfolds. Profections are counted from your birthday to your next birthday. For Capricorn Rising, here's the perfection map. Find your age. How to use this. If your perfection house lines up with the loud themes in the forecast, especially the 4th, 6th, 8th, or 10th, those topics tend to feel more personal, and timing tends to show up more clearly. To pull it all together, 2026 is a year where your foundation, your finances, and your daily life all get a major update. Late January through February sets the tone as Saturn and Neptune enter Aries and activate your 4th house, reshaping home, family dynamics, and your private sense of security. Late April brings Uranus into your 6th, updating work routines, health habits, and pushing you to find a rhythm that doesn't burn you out. The eclipses and the Nodal Shift emphasize the 2nd and 8th houses, money, assets, and shared resources, asking you to build wealth that is truly yours. Jupiter supports relationship growth early in the year and then shifts into shared resources after June 30th. And Venus retrograde in the fall reviews friendships and public direction, helping you align your career with the people who actually support you. If you keep it simple, fix the foundation at home, modernize your daily grind, and clean up your finances. This has been your 2026 full-year forecast for Capricorn Rising from Astro Lab, where ancient astrology meets modern psychological insight. Each month, we'll come back to these themes and track how they unfold in real time.